We welcome to the show Kentucky baseball coach Nick Mingione, who's taken Kentucky baseball to heights it's not seen, has established a consistent winner, one of just our favorite guys to talk to every year. Nick, thank you for joining us and making time for us today.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate all you guys are doing. Happy to get back on and talk some baseball, even though it's November. It's never a bad time.
Well, let's talk about your program. 2 years ago, of course, you guys got to Omaha for the first time, but we talked off air. You said, hey, I think we did a better job last year with our program than the year before. And I think you're right, because I think you guys, I watched you a lot at the end. You guys got as much out of that roster as you could. You mixed and matched with parts. You found combinations that worked. And then when you got to Clemson, boy, you guys were a tough out.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. That Omaha run and being SEC champions was an awesome year in 24. And, last year's roster, we had 29 first-year players. And they inherited the opportunity to have to try to carry that load, of being SEC champions and making it to Omaha for the first time. And, I tell people all the time off of that team that we had in 24, we had our catcher and our right fielder back. Everyone else either graduated or signed pro. So our first baseman had signed pro, our second baseman signed pro, shortstop signed pro, third baseman signed pro, left fielder signed pro, Friday guy signed pro, Sunday guy signed pro, Sunday guy signed pro, and our closer and our firemen both graduated. And so we had all this, basically just legitimately almost had to flip the entire roster through graduation and draft, which is awesome. But that team had to carry that. And I have so much respect for that team because of how much they did and how far we went. And that team last year will always hold a special place in my heart because of, how far we went. We made it to a regional final, and we were a couple plays away from being in our third straight super regional.
You recently wrapped up fall ball. Like, what's the goal? Like, what do you mainly want to accomplish in the fall ball period?
Yeah, good question, Graham. So, what we do and what we ask our players to do is not easy. So the fall for us is just an opportunity for us to really lay down the foundation of what we do. And that means from a pitching standpoint, we value quality pitches. So, we want all of our pitchers to be able to know what a quality pitch is, to be able to define it, but then at the same time, be able to execute what that looks like. Our ability to work extremely fast and attack the running game and do all these things. So we lay the foundation of what we're trying to do on our pitching side. And then on defense, we always say our standard's a standard, and we want to field 980. So we spend a ton of time on our defensive work, and then offensively, there's 6 components to a great offense. We try to hit on all of those 6 components. And you've often heard me say that we are whatever it takes type of offense. So what does that mean? That means we're going to do whatever the game demands. And if that means, hey, we need an extra base hit or hit a bomb, we're going to try to hit a bomb. If that means we need to steal a base, we're going to do that. Lay down a bunt, we're going to do that. Go 2 bases, we're going to do that. Like whatever it is. So we lay the foundation of that from a technical standpoint. And now, Graham, this spot we're in now, we are laying the foundation of what it's like to build them as, physically, mentally, and then just our team. We are doing everything we can to try to create better men and better leaders to build the foundation of our team so we can have a successful spring.
Yeah, it's been amazing to watch the culture of your program. You guys, by all accounts, have a good one. You talked about the character elements, but also just the interest in your program. I mean, seeing that ballpark packed for the postseason a couple of years ago, bringing people to Omaha. And now, you took that last year. You got Tyler Bell through the draft. You got a few more guys through the draft this year, I think, in terms of some of your recruits and even a couple of transfers that it could have gotten picked. Just talk about how much more interest there is in Kentucky baseball and how much that helps you in recruiting, not just getting players and name recognition, but getting guys who can get paid a lot of money right away to campus.
Yeah, we have what we believe is a great culture, and you mentioned that. And people ask me to speak all the time and ask me, and we go over what culture is, and I tell people all the time it's 3 things. It's every day, it's what you allow and what you emphasize. And our program has gotten an identity from being a team. There's a lot of teams in our league that are super talented. We're one of them, But when people watch Kentucky play, they say that they're a really good team. And we take the good kind of pride in that. So we're all literally pulling on the same rope, and we're trying to do whatever it takes to win for Kentucky. And we have a team that is what we believe is more of a servant-based type leadership, and the guys just love being around each other. So we compete at a super high level, but we also have fun. Oftentimes people are distracted by how much fun our guys are having in a dugout. But what I say to them all the time is, don't miss the fact that they're actually paying attention. And they know what's going on in the course of the game. They just happen to do it with tremendous energy and have a ton of fun doing it. So I appreciate you saying that, but this is a group of people, and we've been able to identify. I give our coaching staff a lot of credit. They've done an awesome job of identifying not only the right type of players, but the right type of people. And as a result, we've been able to win a lot of games these handful of years.
I'm curious. You mentioned the dugout. Like, how much input do you have in that, or do they run it up the flagpole to you, or like do you ever turn anything down? Like, no, I don't know to do that.
Graham, I got to tell you, there are certain times where, like my son, literally this summer, we went to go get some ice cream, and we're sitting outside the ice cream shop here in Lexington, and a motorcycle rides by, and is playing music, and he's like, "Dad, this song reminds me of the song that Oliver Boone dances to in the dugout." And I'm like Oliver Boone dances in the dugout? He goes, "Dad, have you not seen him?" I'm like, "No." He's like, when we're on offense, he's like dancing. I'm like, "Well, show me." So my son starts imitating this guy that's dancing in our dugout. I had no idea he danced. I'm scared to turn around a lot of times, Graham. I don't know what's going on when we're on offense. So yeah, we just want them. The biggest thing we want them to do is compete, but also have fun. And the rest of the staff, I think, does a good job policing a lot of it. I've had to obviously say some things a time or two, but I'd much rather it that way than them just sitting there doing nothing and not paying attention and being self-absorbed. I love the fact that they pour into each other and try to help Kentucky win.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on that before I get to where I was going to go next. Like, how do you draw the line? Because, like, I know sometimes, those kind of things get under people's nerves, and I sense maybe sometimes that with you guys that's happened. But, like, I watch you guys, it's clean fun. It feels like to me. I've not seen it cross the line of disrespect. And, baseball's a weird game. Like, it's gone from totally old school where you can't do anything to anybody ever to now we got bat flips and props for home run celebrations. Like the shark was jumped pretty quickly on dugout stuff. I feel like when I watch you guys, you do it the right way. If there's such a thing for that, like what are the lines that you put in and say, all right, that we can have fun, but this is like not where we're going to go beyond.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. And let me say this, like anything else, we're not perfect and we're not innocent. Yeah. Okay. But what I will tell you is when you truly watch us and you just like, if you were just to focus on what we're doing, everything is directed for the most part. At least it's supposed to be directed towards us. Yeah. It's never intended to be directed at the other team. I'd rather my team not be concerned with what the other team's doing. I want us to focus on us. So if that means they're laughing in a dugout or they got some sort of ritual that they decided worked because they figured it out because they did it in the third inning and we scored 3 runs that inning too. Let's do it again. Like, go for it. Like, whatever you need to do. But it does need to stay with us. Are we in it? Are we perfect on that? No. So I'm not saying we are. But the main intention and the core of what we're doing needs to be and has to be directed towards us, not our opponents. So I think coaching third base in this league, and in college baseball in general, forget this league. Like sometimes the dugouts can kind of get you a little bit. Like, and some of the comments are not always, and I'm not saying my team is innocent of this, are directed towards you or your team. And it's like, no, like we're not trying to do that. Like, and I have to just watch our dugout to make sure they're not doing that to the other base coaches. It's like, yeah, we're trying to stay with us. That's us at our best.
Yeah, and
no.
When I watch you guys, that's kind of the way it comes across to me.
Thank you, Chris.
I think it's fun. What happened to having a little? And we were playing sports. It's not brain surgery, right?
Yeah, I just want them to have fun. Like they got enough stress, they got enough stuff going on in their lives. I want them to have a good time.
Yeah. I want to ask you your park in particular and how you recruit it, because like sometimes I watch it like that alley. in right center. I think it's 365, although I think you've got a scoreboard there, don't you? That maybe
No,
affects
it's
the wind a
beyond.
bit.
It's beyond
Okay,
the
is it
fence. Yeah.
beyond?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the cold, I'm sure the cold and the damp keeps the ball. But I'm just curious, like, how do you factor in your park when you go to recruit and maybe game plan?
The park plays a factor. What I'll tell you is that every park has its own unique style, whether it's a nook and cranny. I watch the big leagues all the time. And I'm watching, whether it be in the playoff game, like you're not hitting it out to dead center at Yankee Stadium very often, right? But you're getting it out to right. Like there's parts of every ballpark you can go, and there's parts that maybe offensively you can't go. So I just think it's every coach's job is to know and understand that you need to know your ballpark, and you need to know how to recruit, and you need to know what parts of the ballpark you can go to for success and which parts there's not. And our park is no different. You got to know which parts of the ballpark you can go to. So us understanding our field and understanding that is good, but every weekend it's like that. I feel like we're going somewhere. It's like, you got to know that ballpark. And it's like, because our sport is so different, there's some people that are fascinated with this. You're like, they're like people that don't really know baseball. They're like, you mean to tell me that like your field is different than whoever else? I'm like, yeah. They're like, is it like that
a
in
lot.
the NFL? I'm like, nope. Is it like that in the NHL? Nope. Is it like our sport is just different? And you as the player or the coach or the manager in pro ball or whatever, it's like, you got to kind of know your ballpark. That is part of the equation that goes into winning. And ours is definitely no different than that. You got to know the park and where to hit it, where not, and when to run and when not to, and where to pitch and how to pitch. And it's no different than any other park. You just got to figure out what wins.
Graham, if I can get one more, then I'll give you a couple. Back to your philosophy, like you guys have had teams like 2 years ago, you guys hit a lot of long balls, but I feel like the way that you recruit, like you get pitchers who can maybe a lot of times pitch to contact. You guys always seem to be pretty good defensively. Like you focus a lot of your future, I think, around your shortstop, which was probably a pretty good plan. And you're getting guys in the portal a lot of times that are not, they weren't all Americans other places, but it just feels like it fits. You guys have been able to moneyball a really good team together in the portal for several years running now. Are you looking maybe to put a little bit more of an emphasis on, guys that can generate ground ball contact and maybe guys that can feel their position pretty well in an era that feels like a lot of people have just gone to, kind of slow pitch softball with long balls? I'm just curious because you guys get a lot out of your roster. You beat expectations every year. And I feel like I can maybe sense a little bit of the secret sauce in just looking at your roster, but am I anywhere close here?
Well, I will say this, like, hey, actually, I have a question for you. You guys probably don't get people that ask you a lot of questions, but you guys cover our league in football. And I listen to press conferences of these other coaches. What do most football coaches say the game came down to? Like, what are the categories that they pretty much talk about? There's 2 to 3.
Turnovers.
Discipline, not beating yourselves at the wrong time, establishing a run game. Yeah.
They just talk about us being able to win the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
To be able to block up front, right? Establish the run game, limit turnovers. So this is basically what we do in baseball. We're trying to pitch, throw 5 million strikes, get the at-bat over with. We're trying to defend at a high level. In 23, we led the country in fielding percentage, right? And we're trying to create pressure on offense. It's like the nuts and bolts. To your point, Chris, easy coaching in my mind is just sitting back and do nothing.
Yeah.
Just do nothing. No one ever second guesses you. You never run a play. You never have to feel like you messed up. No one can call you out on it. It's like, I just don't choose to coach that way. Right. Like I just choose to, and we choose to try to create pressure and try to make the ball sink and try to make it ride and try to cut it and try to throw strikes at all times with all different pitches. And rather than just rear back and let's see how hard we can throw, or let's rear back and see how far we can hit it. It's like, we do that. We have velocity. We hit tons of home runs. We have before. It's like, but we're trying to find guys that like want to play baseball and just like ate up with like playing baseball And quite frankly, like just getting better. We want our guys to show up every day and just learn and grow and improve and just get better while playing in a really fun, competitive team environment. And some people are like that, and some people enjoy that, and other people don't. Got a kid coming on a visit tomorrow. He's like, Coach, your style of play fits me exactly. I love creating pressure. I love stealing third base. I love looking down there. If that third baseman's back, I'm dropping down a bunt. I'm like, I love your style of play. You want to be a Wildcat? He's like, I love when they bring the left fielder and I smoke one over his head. Like, I'm like, me too. I love hitting bombs. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I love giving you 5 rounding the bases. Like, let's go. Like, you know, so we're just trying to find guys that are really into the same things that we are. And we've had a good stretch and run of finding guys that do want to be in that environment.
I think one of the most unique things about you guys, so this is 2 years in a row. You play West Virginia in the postseason, and then you play them in fall ball. And like you play them away from Lexington in fall ball. Just what has that experience been like?
Yeah. You know, Steve Saban's, we both are Embry-Riddle grads. So, which is ironic, but I enjoy playing good teams, you know? So we played them this fall, played 2, you know, fun competitive games. But I just want our guys to be challenged. So we had 2 interesting games, like 2 different type games, but yeah, it was fun. I like playing good teams, and they're obviously one of them. So that was good to see our guys compete, and it was good to play them like right after they just beat us too. So wanted to get them back. No.
Yeah. Curious, like from your point of view, like what's more challenging? Is it the build or is it sustaining?
Good question, man. That's a really good question, Graham. I've thought a lot about that. The one thing I know about me is I love building things. I love the idea and this notion of trying to get our players to understand and do something that's never been done before. I love their victory is my greatest joy. I recently had someone say that, and I was like, man, that's how I feel. I love watching the team celebrate. I love that. So I love the fact that we're trying to build something and really, quite frankly, do something that's never been done before. When you can say like you're the first, it does something for an 18 to 24-year-old. They can carry that with them forever. And that should hopefully just like propel them into professional baseball and life. It's like, I love giving them that experience. So, you know, I always say that the team goes in 3 phases. You got to teach your team how to compete. You got to teach them how to win. They got to teach them how to deal with winning. And I would say they all have their own challenges. I totally dodged your question. I didn't answer it. But I would say I really don't know. I don't know. I think they're both really difficult, Graham. Like, I think they all have their own unique set of challenges, because if you're, you know, perfect, like a donkey has never won the Kentucky Derby ever, nor will it. Like, I mean, you got to have like really good players, and without good players, you're not winning anything. But just because you have good players doesn't mean you're going to win, right? Like, there's so much that goes into teaching them how to win. And then the same thing, it's just like, okay, you're just winning and you're winning. Well, now you got to learn how to deal with winning. That comes with its own set of unique challenges, and complacency is the enemy of success. It's like, so there's a lot that goes into it. I would say they both. So I just talked for 5 minutes. I still didn't give you an answer, but I would say they're both really hard.
Let's talk about your pitching. I don't know that you've had a staff quite like this one. First of all, you've got the most valuable commodity in baseball. That is a durable, strike-throwing starting pitcher to start things off with that you can depend on. You got one of those in Ben Cleaver. You went and got the Bennett kid in the portal from Western Kentucky. You got Harris back, who can give you some innings as he did a year ago, pretty durable. I mean, that is a wonderful starting point for a pitching staff. Talk about those guys and what else you've got there coming up.
Yeah, you know, I think anytime, even if you look in professional baseball, you know, I think anytime you turn on the TV, it's like I want to start and always want to talk about pitching. It's just so important. And the best teams I've coached have been teams that have been able to has some really good starting pitching. So obviously getting Ben Cleaver back for his third year has been awesome. I mean, through on Sundays for us. I mean, he's super talented. He has secret sauce. He's left-handed. And he can really, really pitch and compete at a super high level. And then Nate Harris, I mean, started out as a midweek starter for us. And by the time you look up, he's throwing on Friday nights for us at the end of the year. So, and then we brought in some guys, and we have some guys that have been in our program that have a chance to start as well. So we feel really good about the options that we have. And you guys know this, until they come back in January, you really can't tell, or you don't know. But we have 2 guys that have been in our program with starting experience, and that is invaluable. Like the year before, we had to replace our entire rotation, entire starting pitching, and now we're returning 2 guys that really have starting experience for us. And then so when you mix in the handful of other guys that fit that boat, we feel good about the experience, whether it's been here or somewhere else. We have guys that have starting experience, and that's, quite frankly, in college baseball is hard to find.
What's the balance at this point of, like, we want to focus on the field, like what we do on the field versus team chemistry and like the mental aspect of it? Like, how do you balance all that, just to try to figure out what you have before the season approaches us?
Yeah, Graham, you bring up that's a really good question and really good point, because I tell people all the time, they're like, hey, how's it going? What are you doing in the off season? I'm like, I'm building the foundation for our season. That's what we're doing right now, is we are literally building the foundation of the season, and we're building our team. That's what we're doing right now, is like, we're building our team. So how you do that, we're very intentional about how we do that, whether it's through leadership sessions, which we have lined up with that we do with Sean Umbro, spent 27 years in the U.S. Army. We've had multiple of those sessions already. We have more planned. We do peer reviews and player feedback. We do a team event that we spend time with, and we do a series of things within that team event. So we're doing a lot of things to try to really, quite frankly, build our team while working on their swings. And we're trying to build the engines of their swings and working on their delivery and trying to make them understand how their body's moving through space. And while they're not pitching right now, they are working on their delivery, whether it's through dry reps or everything like that. So we're laying the foundation of what's to come, all while we're trying to improve ourselves, but ultimately, like, we're working on this to compete for our team. So this is really, quite frankly, one of my favorite times of the year because of what we are doing, and we're very intentional about that.
I'm looking at your lineup for the coming year between what you bring back and what you brought in the portal. I feel like I could take the names off this and just look at the stat lines and go, that's Kentucky, because you guys got a lot of high on base guys that they walk, they'll put the ball in play. You recruited speed in the portal. The Tharnish kid at St. Bonaventure stole 32 last year. Campbell stole 21 at USC Upstate. They're both high on base percentage guys. You got Ryan Schwartz, who got on a bunch. Ethan Hindle got on a bunch in part-time play. I feel like you guys are kind of ready to run it back with a lot of the same stuff you had before.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why we feel good about our season coming up. But we also know we've got a lot of work to do, and we face some really good opponents. So, yeah, just the style of play, what we're trying to do on the mound, what we're trying to do defensively, and then obviously in the batter's box and on the bases. So you're right. Like, and it feels nice to have guys back that have been there, done that. Every year's a new year. So it's like, and last year, I mean, we started a freshman on Friday nights. We started a freshman at shortstop. We started a freshman in right field, and we started a retro freshman at first base. I mean, we played a lot of young guys, and I'm excited to continue to watch those guys. And then obviously the guys that were in our program, and now the guys that we brought in. I'm excited to see them compete against some other people, but we're not ready yet. Like, we still need practice. So it's like, we still need the time, but on paper, to your point, it's like, we've gotten the right pieces back, and we brought some that were in both as freshmen and transfer portal guys.
What have you seen from Tyler Bell? Just a super successful, first season in life in the SEC, and then just gearing up for another year. What have you seen from him?
Just the maturity. I mean, he is like grown in so many ways. Like, not only on the field, but off the field, the teammate, the leadership, the work ethic. I mean, just the way he has matured. And he's did some things, quite frankly, that not a lot of freshmen do. I mean, he literally played every single game except one. He fouled a ball off his knee in the first game of the regional, didn't play the second game, but then played two the next day. Literally played every single game as a freshman. Then what did he do? He went out to the Cape. Then what did he do? He went to Team USA, made Team USA, played for that. I mean, he's done a lot and done it at a really high level. So the experience that he's gotten on the field with summer baseball and then being back here, it's like pretty good. Pretty good. And he's a special player, but his growth and maturity on and off the field has been awesome. I mean, it's always been a great teammate, always been a great guy, always been a guy that can push people to do some things, quite frankly, I didn't even know what they could do. I mean, guys, he was voted last year at the end of the fall. We asked our guys, who's the hardest worker on the team? And they got a vote. He voted hardest worker on the team after only being in our program for 4 months. That's how highly his peers thought about him. So it's been fun just to even watch him grow in his work ethic and the type of teammate and the leader he's been. It's been a pleasure to be around. He's a special, special talent and a special human being and player. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you watch him play and you're going major leaguer right there. Like
that's what everybody tells me.
Right. But and like, that's what everybody knows, but that's great to hear, because how much does that help you in your locker room, having your guy that's your best player is maybe your best leader as a freshman?
Yeah, when you guys know this, but being in college athletics, when your best player is also your hardest worker, you have a chance to have something good. When the best player is also the hardest worker, it's like, okay, like that's what it's supposed to look like, that's been a good thing. That's been a good thing. So that part's been fun to watch.
I'm curious, after a practice, after a game, like, how do you wind down? Like, are you a reader? Do you watch movies? Are you a TV show guy? Like, what do you like to do?
Graham, you're not going to believe this. You got a guess? What's your guess?
I'm going to say reader. You strike me as like you'd like to read a lot of books.
All right. So this is what I do. Last year, the guys were in the locker room. They were talking about movies. So like, Coach Mans, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, man, guys, my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. I love it. They're like, Coach, what's like, you seen any movies recently? I go, I can't believe you asked that. And I said, let me think. And I had watched one movie in 9 years. They were like, Coach, what? I go, yeah, Reeves is 10. I'm like, we watched Secretariat, but I have not sat down and watched a movie. They're like, what? Do you watch TV? I was like, no, I just watch sports. They're like, TV shows. I go, oh, I can't tell you. I haven't seen a TV show in over a decade. They're like, what? And I'm like, I don't watch TV. I was like, guys, they're like, what do you do? I go, I literally get up in the morning. What I do, I really value my quiet time every morning. I value my time. I read my Bible. I have a discipleship planner. I literally write my son a note every morning that he'll be able to have forever. And I just try to help them become the best that they can be. And I try to lead our staff and our players in our program. And when I leave here, I'm in the office now. And when I leave here, I go try to be as present as I can with my wife and my son. And every night, you know what we do. I mean, for a living, I drive my son to school every morning. And then at night, I try to eat dinner with my family. And then I try to put my son to bed and see him to bed and spend time with Kristen. And by that time, Graham, I'm gassed. And I'm like, I gave him everything. So you know what I do is I go to bed. So to wind down, I don't know about you guys. I don't think I've ever covered this in an interview, but I literally put my head on a pillow and I'm out. My wife's like, that's the greatest gift. How do you do that, Nick? I'm like, I can't explain it. But I just literally do. So, but the time I really value the most is obviously with Kristen and Reeves and being around the guys. And then my quiet time in the morning is like, when I get that and I get time with them and the team and my family, I'm like, I'm good. So, and then I try to, whether it's a recruiting call or I try to research or knock something out in the evening. And what I do last night, I worked on a PowerPoint before I went to bed, and then I went to bed and I was out. So
That's an awesome answer and one of the best. I like to ask that to everybody. You know, everybody's wired differently. That was a phenomenal answer. And my wife is the same way. Like that's her superpower. She can go to sleep under 2 minutes. She can sleep standing up. Like
when Kristen says that, it's like, how do you fall asleep that fast? I'm like, it is just like, it's a gift. It's just like, it's a gift, you know? But yeah, I literally try to empty my tank every day and then just like,
Yeah, that sounded familiar, except for the part about being able to fall asleep immediately. I have melatonin for that. That's been a godsend. But
they used to call me Nicky Naps in high school. They'd be like, Nicky Naps, like in college.
Okay, let's settle something. Like the power nap is super underrated because I do have this ability to like for 10 or 15 minutes, I can fall asleep.
I dare you. Yes.
And it feels like I've like completely recharged and I'm better. Like my wife's like, I can't do that. Like aren't you afraid of falling asleep for like, no, like I don't even have to set an alarm. I don't know what it is, but like, is this part of your,
hey, one thing I don't do, I'm good at power. I mean, literally, if you guys were like, hey, Minge, go ahead and kick back. I swear I could fall asleep on this here.
Yeah.
But I don't do caffeine. Like I've never had a cup of coffee my whole life. Like, I've had decaf, but like I've had sips, but I've never had a cup. I don't do energy drinks. I used to drink Diet Mountain Dew. I stopped in 2019, December 2019 was the last time I had a Diet Mountain Dew. So I don't do caffeine. The players do all these like caffeine energy drinks and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I don't do that. I said, what would happen if I drank one of those? They're like, Coach, you'd be twitching.
Yeah. But maybe I could, but I'm afraid to find out at the moment.
Yeah. I don't do caffeine. That's one thing I don't do.
Man, that is a gift. Let me tell you, be grateful for that. One thing I know you're grateful for, your role of your faith in your life. I know that's a big part of who you are and the kind of the way you go about your job. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's just a driving force in my life. And, you know, when I spend my time with the Lord each morning and throughout the day, and I have all that right, I'm the best husband, dad, and coach I need to be. And when I jack those up, quite frankly, I'm just not at my best. And, but yeah, I've just learned to put God first in all of that. So whether that be in my faith, with my family, with the baseball program, that's just me at my best. And when I don't do that and I'm not plugged in and I don't get to spend my time and do all that, that's not me at my best. And I think that's, you know, all part of us. It's like, you know, when are we at our best and what are we performing and coaching or doing? And I love serving. I love, like, it's part of the reasons why I went back to coaching third base. Is just one of my gifts, spiritual gifts, is the gift of encouragement. And I just love being in a fight with the guys. And so, yeah, that's important to me. It's the most important thing in my life over everything. And I just need to keep it that way.
The move of Tony Vitello going to the Giants, like, is that something, do you think that's a new trend? Do you think more college coaches will get that opportunity, or is that just like a special, unique situation? How do you view it?
Yeah, well, I would love to speak. I'll just talk about Tony because that's what we're talking about. He's really talented. I mean, just because he did it doesn't mean that anybody can do it, right? And quite frankly, he hadn't done it yet. Like, he's gotten the opportunity, but will he be successful or not? I think time will tell. But I think anybody that knows him or been around him, he's been pretty successful anywhere he's been. So I will say this. I do have a lot of respect for the coaches and the managers that are in professional baseball. I do. I will also say that I have a lot of respect for college coaches too. And I think some of our best coaches in our sport, in the world, are in college baseball. Now, I think also we could also make the comment, some of the best coaches in the world are also in the major leagues and in the minor leagues. So there's just a lot of really good coaching. And our sport has gotten to the spot where there's so much information. There's so much information out there. But I think I will say this, it does come back to your ability to relate to your players and be able to execute a system and be able to get your players to do what's expected of them. And Tony's really talented, and he's gotten an opportunity that, quite frankly, I think this is going to be, what about Wes Johnson from a couple of years ago, right? He went from being a pitching coach in college to be a pitch coach in the big leagues. Now he's back in college. But I will say there's a lot of really talented people in college baseball. Am I surprised that he did that? I'm not. Because I think people recognize the level at which college baseball is at now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's tremendous opportunity. Just like there's some amazing coaches in professional baseball that would do unbelievable in college baseball. So, but I just feel like him being the first is kind of neat too, because that might open a door for somebody else one day.
Yeah. I mean, just think about from when you first started in the SEC and like how much it's right now. Like it really is when you think about it.
Graham, this is my 20th year in the SEC. That wow. I said that the other day and I'm like, whoa. I had this revelation actually just 2 days ago. Well, actually it was yesterday. I had a friend of mine and his wife text me. Their daughter is a freshman here that I went to high school with in Cape Coral, Florida. And they're like, Nick, we'd love to see you. We're in town for the weekend and we're leaving Monday. So I'm like, man, come on by. So they came by yesterday. And just seeing them, I was like, man, this is my 30-year high school reunion this year. I'm like, and I've been coaching college baseball for 25 years. So I was like, man, until I started counting, I'm like, this is my 20th year in the SEC. Graham, we used to not be able to feed our players. Like you couldn't give them any food except a post-game meal or a snack. You can give them a bagel. No condiments. You can't give them cream cheese or butter. Yeah. Now it's like, feed them. Like, it is crazy. You're like, man, 11.7. That's it. Now it's like rev share and NIL money. You're like, what? How much money? What? Like, it's been crazy, guys. It's been crazy. My first year in the SEC was 2006. 2006.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
I always think that like the biggest mistake the league ever made was not bringing the network in earlier than it did. Because I used to tell people, because I've been covering it as long as you've been in it, and like the game has been amazing. Now I think it's gotten even better. The talent is getting better. Everybody takes it seriously now, which is up to everybody's game. But like I think if the network had been around 10 years before it was, I think everything in the league would have taken off before it did. Does that make sense? Because once you see the product and how good it is, like a lot of the people that didn't even pay attention now, like they're the people that text you during postseason. Like, I can't believe this game I'm watching. I think that's been so good for the league.
Yeah, I think anytime you can get in people's homes, I mean, now it's like I call anybody, I talk to anybody. It could be in the Pacific Northwest to Florida or the Northeast, and they're like, man, the SEC, Kentucky, Omaha, the way your team plays, like there's no doubt that is, yes, large part because of the success we've had on the field, but there's no doubt that's because of the network as well.
Last one, I think, for either of us,
Sure.
And you've kind of done it already. Take inventory of your team leaving the fall. What's to be decided? What are your strengths? What are the things that you guys need to work on the most?
I love our talent level. Like when I sit here and I go through and I think about that pitcher's mound and the people that we could potentially run out there, obviously health has a lot to do with this, guys. And then I look at the field and say, defensively, are we going to be able to defend that thing? Right. And then I think about the batter's box. Are we going to be able to do the things that we want there? It's like, I like the team. I like the talent level. Things I want to see them do better is value and appreciate details. Doing and understanding what it takes to win, and them understanding the margin of victory is this small. Last year's season, we were 9 plays away from being back-to-back SEC champions. 9 plays. I can tell you every single one of them. It was 9 plays. So we were 13 and 17 in the league. We were 9 plays away, 9, from being back-to-back SEC champions. So I want them to understand that the margin of victory is really small. And I'm often reminded how hard it is to win, but how easy it is to lose. My team needs to understand that. And if and when we understand that and we're a resilient team, we'll have an awesome year. If not, the Cats won't have a great year. But that's what I want to see them get better at.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you this winter, this spring. Looking forward to seeing your team play. And always appreciate your time. It's a great interview, and we'll run it back again in the spring or this time next fall, maybe.
Yeah, Chris, Graham, thanks, guys. And thank you for having me. What you guys do is really unique, and what significant people do is like you're going to add value to our program and all the programs and the people that you follow. So it's like, thank you for like making us more significant, and that matters. That matters. So just appreciate you guys. Have a lot of respect for what you're doing. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It's easier to do when the product and the people are so good, and we're blessed to do it.
Yeah, well, bless you. Thank you.